Greg, to the Middle East now, where the Israeli strike on Rafah has been criticised by a number of world leaders. The French President Macron labelled the strike outrageous. Penny Wong released a statement following the strike and says the events of the last 24 hours underscore that we must see a humanitarian ceasefire so that civilians can be protected. Israel's strikes have had horrific and unacceptable consequences. What do you make of the strike and the reaction?
Well, Kieran, it seems to be a terrible tragedy. So I don't have any inside information on it, but we know that Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has issued a statement saying that this strike was a tragic mistake. And he has not been prone to accepting that Israeli Defence Force strikes have been in error up till now. I mean, it's a tragedy for the people who were killed. That's the most important thing. But it's also a tragedy for Israel because at this moment, when they are being blackguarded all around the world, I think very often unfairly, for them to, choose this moment to make what seems to have been a grievous operational error. The tragedy of war is that this sometimes happens. The Israelis themselves have said they're going to investigate it. There's an emergency United Nations Security Council meeting about it. I agree that a ceasefire, I agree with Penny Wong that we need a ceasefire, absolutely. And of course, the people who are preventing a ceasefire are Hamas. If they agreed to release even 30 Israeli hostages, they could have a ceasefire tomorrow. But I do think the politics have moved so badly against Israel. There's a kind of a time limit to this sort of thing. It just can't go on and on and on. And I think Israel needs to come to a stage where major combat operations come to an end. And even if that's not with a formal ceasefire, and even if Israel has to resume targeted strikes down the track, I mean, I think if these Hamas leaders ever stick their heads out of the tunnels, Israel will kill them. And it might be better to stop big operations for a while. It's a very messy and indeed very tragic situation.